say it anywhere. I will say that please forgive me for our inability to go to Dubai together, but it's for something better. I will say that. I will also say that a number of times there are diverse ways with which we plant, and what we plant is a function of what we're going to get as harvest. So when you see a man who has planted maize, in 3 months, thereabouts, all things being equal, if the earthmen didn't enter your farm, all things being equal, you should cash out and take your harvest and put the money in your pocket. Now, when you see another man who plants rice, you know that in the next 12, 15 month maximum is cashed out, but the return may not size his pockets. Maybe you will need a bag to take the money. All right? But if you see a man who has planted cocoa, you would see the first set of people who planted. He planted maize, somebody has gone and he has cashed out 3 months after. The other one has done rice. He's also cashed out. You cocoa planter, you have to go and sleep on mocha foam and give it like 5 years for you to cash out. So a number of times, many of us, we want something now, but have we asked the question, which type of seed have I planted? That is a function of when you will get the harvest. So I will tell you, sir, you are planting cocoa, so it will take time. It may sound humorous, but that's the truth. Because what he's doing here is not doing just for Gtext homes, but he's doing for himself also. So whatever you do, when you point a finger, it's so powerful that you have. So it's actually 3 that you point to yourself. You have 3. And this is a witness to God. And yes, sir. My pastor, my doctor. It's so great and honor to be here again. Mr. Dominic, well done, sir. God bless and honor you. You know, we're many that we started together, but we've shared some weight. And that great man behind the camera also is a coded man. Amen. But the truth is, all of the snippets we see after the trainings and every other thing, those wonderful works, is the one behind it. But oftentimes, cameraman faces are not usually seen. But without them, there cannot be good memories. Because it takes someone who believes in the future to be able to take picture today. Okay, well done, sir. I appreciate you so much, sir. Yes, sir. Please, a round of applause for him, please. Okay, I also want to say this. If you don't come, there's nothing we can do. And that's the truth. We appreciate you so much, immensely, for being dogged and being committed. About 2-3 weeks ago, while I was in service, my father in the faith was saying that there is a prayer you will pray and you will ask God for a certain grace, and it is the grace for consistency. Sincerely, when he broke it down, I saw that this was a missing link in the lives of many of us. You see somebody who is saved today, who is not saved tomorrow. That grace is not there. You see someone who wants to sell, who set out at the beginning of the year that 2021, I'm going to make not less than 10 billion sales. If it's at the rate of 10% that I'm getting to cash out, that means I'm getting 1 billion. They started out well, January 1st. They made all of those, you know how we always write those New Year resolution. But by the end of January, you told God on 31st that part of what you're going to be doing is you want to be waking up like 5 a.m. Pray, then read at least a chapter of a book before you set out for the day. You tried first week of January. by second week. Man shall not live by bread alone. Let me do one more hour. Sir? God understand. Yes, sir. That's what we always say. God understand. This body no be firewood. Now, what is missing is grace for consistency. So I cried to God that day to give me that grace, that everything I've set out to do in the year 2021, Lord, help me to be consistent at it. Some people have received that grace, and that's why you keep seeing their faces every Tuesday. No matter the storm, no matter the weather, you will see them here. Please, if you are one of them, clap for yourself. Even those I don't see regularly. All right, be that as it may, I appreciate you all. And much more importantly, before I go to the concluding part of this topic, I'd like to also appreciate the man who gave us this platform. And that's the person of Dr. Stephen Akintayo, who is away in Dubai, my good friend, my brother. Is the one that God is using to make things happen in Gtext. So wherever he is, he will see this video. He may see, he may not see it, but everywhere. People call me a number of times and say that, oh, we saw a particular video here that this man is talking about you. You know, and I go check the video and I say, truly, this is a brother. You know, there are people that they only say good things in front of you. When you are not there, they say another thing. You know, a video that you know I'm not watching, and you are referring to me in that video, saying something good, that I've learned something from one of my brothers in Nigeria, I've learned this. No. You don't need to impress me when we see. I already know where we stand. So that's why it gives me a great delight to talk about him too, even though he's not here. That's, you are a great man, and you are doing well. Let's give it up to Jesus, and let's appreciate Dr. Stephen Akintayo. Thank you so much for the platform. Okay, now, before it turns to another service, so let's go to why we are here today. So I heard from the feedbacks that many of us gave as it concerns some of the challenges we are facing on the field. But I can tell you that you are facing a challenge tells me that you are working. That's the truth. That's the first thing to know. That you are facing a challenge is a sign that you are working. And you are better than somebody who is not facing any challenge. That's the truth. So when you start selling, you don't make sale the first day, the first week. Some people the first month. Some people the first year. But go back to what has been said about the grace for consistency. When you keep at it, then you break even. Amen. Oftentimes, we see some people from a distance, or some things we call challenges, that looks like a Goliath. But it will amaze you to know that if you don't give up and you continue moving, the closer you get to it, then you get to know that it's not actually a Goliath, but a bread for you to eat. But if you don't move closer, you will never know. So no matter what the challenge is as it concerns sales, when you face obstacles, it is to tell you that you are making progress. So don't be deterred and never be discouraged. So last week we started something on how you can sell a deep freezer to a man in the snow. And so many things were said for those who were around. So we just point 1, 2 things, then we continue so we can round up on these today. So, and I like 1 or 2 people to refresh us what you picked from last week. What were those things that you picked as lessons? Because it's not enough to give lecture. We are not here to deliver lecture. We are here to learn. I've gone to receive lecture in different schools. So I should be able to break it down for us to understand if I'm teaching you. So, my father in the faith went to different mountains. So I don't need to climb mountain again. So I've gone to different trainings. You may not need to do one again. even though you still need other trainings. But the ones I've learned in sales, I'll break it down for you to understand. So I'm here to take your questions and what your concerns are. So you don't need to go to the number of schools I've gone. Because if you want to, plus your age, you will tire. So what am I saying? Let's take 1-2 people who will tell us what they picked from last week and how you have applied it. Your name, sir, and what's it is. Please, you can sit down, sir. Yes. Thank you, sir.
My name is Agbola Elawewaju.
Yes, sir.
Last week, we were fortunate to be here to gain more knowledge concerning how to market.
Yes, sir.
I grabbed the aspect that says, sell yourself. Know how to present yourself. Have confidence in yourself and have knowledge about what you are selling. Then when you are talking to a customer, a prospect, don't have that mindset of maybe first you must have something inside you that I need money. But also understand that you are also giving out value.
Thank you, sir.
Investment. That the person with cash that might be brainstorming that this money you can vanish 20,000 has reduced to 19,000. This money you can open his heart to see the area you can key in, like land banking. And so that aspect, that means you are giving, you are helping, you are a solution giver. You are helping a problem solver. And whenever you are talking to someone, be a good listener. Because inside them are full of different things that can be like objective. Maybe from experience, maybe due to wrong investment before, fear in them, trust, lack of trust, like greed, all those aspects. Just be a good listener and know how to come in.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. I mean, I have more confidence that, okay, if I'm not around one of those Tuesdays, I think you can do the class. Because you actually captured a whole lot. Yes, I appreciate you, sir. Yes, sir. So, I think I saw another face that day. I saw you, sir. And I also saw her. Okay, I saw you, sir. Okay, let me take you first, sir.
Aside of what you just said.
Yes, sir.
Another thing that really was on my consciousness was leaving people with subtle message.
Leaving people with subtle messages. Yes, sir. A seed in their heart. Okay.
It was really profound.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So that means what he's trying to say is the place of people leaving them with a word or a message that will get them thinking about what you came to sell to them. When somebody tells you, I'm not interested, don't just go like that. Just make a statement. Remember, a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. Are you a good man? I see you later, sir. You may somehow, I mean, don't forget the fact that we also said that it's important that you don't say it in a rude way. Just look for a way to pass a message. Any message that you know that will get them thinking, because the way God made us, we have a recorder inside of us, and it can fast forward and it can rewind. So when we get home, most times in the night, we often rewind our day for those who think. So, and you will remember what you said and begin to think about it. Thank you, sir. You didn't tell us your name again, sir.
Emmanuel.
Mr. Emmanuel, okay. Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, Madam Yemisi. Yes, ma'am.
One major thing I read last week was we shouldn't approach people firstly. We shouldn't make it look like we're actually together.
Okay.
We should first build friendship.
Oh, awesome.
The man I approached, what I told you,
Okay.
he was actually he was accommodating.
Mm.
But then he already has lots of properties.
Okay.
So based on what he was saying, the soft message I already prepared was we should give an inheritance for his kids.
Oh, Mario.
But it was like his kids are studying abroad.
Okay.
And
So they don't need the inheritance.
That they have a lot of properties already.
Okay.
And they are not even showing any interest
In coming to Nigeria.
Like someone like him, he believes that that it's, once the kids are successful, that they will not really need, like he said, he was someone like him, he said he's quite married to 4 wives.
Okay.
And of all of them, they are all successful. He said all of the dad's properties that they don't even, that most times they just give it out to people, they don't go experience of it. So he also feels so he feels the same way. So I couldn't leave him with something message.
Okay.
But he said it was everything.
No, it can actually work, sir. It depends on what you want to say, sir.
It depends on the person.
It depends on what you want to say, actually. There is no man who does not have a lock at the password. There are ways people lock up, but everybody have a password. You know, I left you with a message that day, and I said I was with someone who says our curfew time is 8 p.m. And I got there like past 7. And I didn't leave. She didn't release me until 11:30. And she was the one tapping me that you are sleeping already. Yeah, come on, I've been going to your house. I said, Mommy, okay, thank you. Let me be going. And she's somebody who is locked up because she still has that trauma in her that she lost her husband. You understand? So, but nonetheless, I know that there's always a psychology to everything. Just don't forget that we said something that day that always make sure you say what will interest your listener or your audience. So somebody who has locked up, if you want to get him unlocked, you must be able to get to know what may be of interest to this person. And there are ways of getting that. So like if you want to get Mr. Dominic now, you talk about politics. You can see that is well knowledgeable about current affairs, and it will delve into politics. So if you want to get him to talk, you know how to start a conversation with him. So, and I told you, my wife also, if I get home late and I need her to talk, I start our conversation on things like our baking line, or talk about the perfume she's selling, the hair, you know, those bone straights. I don't have any business with hair, but I have to learn it because I need something that will always, yes, that will bring interest to her. So if I get home and start talking about, you can imagine what the architect did to me. You know, he just, there's a line he missed. And because of that, the engineer had to miss a particular beam they should put in a place. You just be looking at you like, before you know it, she's already sleeping and snoring. But when I say, Omo, I ate one cake today, you say, who gave you? And she can't say that closing her eyes. Her eyes is open. Who gave you? In Jesus' name. In Jesus' name. You don't get it. There are ways. There's nobody who cannot be unlocked. You just need to know how to get them. The man has opened up to you. So, but you must now be able to psychologically ask him a few questions that will get you to be able to tell. Because we have a consistent customer who always follow us to every estate we open. None of his children are in the country. And he buys everywhere we go. If he has tried to reach me today, I'll call him much later this evening. In fact, when he went to buy something in Dubai, he told me how much he invested, $2 million. He will buy, yes sir, he will buy 2 acres here. He will say, so one day I went to visit him in his house, myself and my family. Because he said, I gave him a 12 noon appointment. He said he wants to meet all my children. He wants to, that is where I've switched from customer to family. You know, he's now, like we talk, he can cry. He's an elderly, but he can cry and tell me some things. And I'll say, Daddy, everything will be fine. It's okay, I understand. And we'll look at it this way, look at it this way. And tomorrow we'll say, I have so amount. What can you advise me to do with it? And this is somebody that when I was much younger, when it is time for him to leave where I knew him, when it is time for him to leave, I want to catch up with him because I will need his assistance because I'm going back to school. So, somebody said, don't seek to be known. Just seek to know. When you know, the world will seek to know you. You don't get it. Don't seek to be known. Just seek to know. When you know, the world will seek to know you. So rather than pursuing men, I went to sit down to learn and get something that people may not be able to do without. So now, I have to be invited. So I told him 12 p.m. I'll be there with my fine boss. Daddy, you know I'm very busy. He said, yes, I know, but I want you to come and meet mommy and we will also meet your family. Since that 12 noon, I couldn't make it until like 3:30 because I had other engagements. They were waiting for me. They live on the island. So by the time we got there, they were standing outside. All the glory to God. Now, by the time we finished talking, he said he has one regret. Just one. And it's just the fact that he allowed his children to be exposed to international travels at a younger age. Now, none of them wants to come to Nigeria. But he keeps investing because he's a business person. So he has left the realm of doing it for the children now. He has switched to ROI. What's my return on this investment? So if I buy 1 acre today, in the next 3 years, can you give me the return on investments? And that goes to the analytic prospective buyers of your product. They will do an analysis. Yes, they want to work with figures. And I was saying that day that may you not meet some of those people. Because if you are not smart, they will throw you off your feet. And they will say, can you give me a projection of what this place will look like in the next 7 years? Sir, this is a marker and this is a board. You can go ahead. Librado Shando Sabal. I say, I don't understand. Go on. There are people like that, and you will meet them. So that's why it's important for you to get grounded and learn on time. Read books. Do a thorough analysis of what is happening around the products you are trying to sell. Okay, let me take you, sir. Thank you, sir. Your name again, sir? Okay, Mr. Ifeanyi. Okay. Praise God.
Personally, in my life, because I was brought up with my grandparents, I was always good to my peer group. I was always indoor somebody. So maybe I don't know how to talk. I don't know how to do normal discussion. I don't know how to do that.
Yes, sir.
Whenever I do that, the second party they always get annoyed. So each time I go back, what's wrong with you? What is wrong? What is wrong? I can't respect my parents again. Even not my university lesson.
Wow.
I may do the work or to talk with an issue. So I now find out that attention. I don't know how to do attention.
Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir.
I don't know how to draw attention. Either you say that there are many things you can use to draw customer's attention. By then you now water them to be able to know what they
Thank you, Jesus.
So that thing really cost me last week.
Wow.
To the extent that I don't know, it's only some few elderly ones, people that are better than me. I don't want to actually understand what I'm trying to say. Even we may discuss some issues, but where the area they are going to is not the area I'm going to.
Yes, sir.
At the end of it, we find out, we won't agree, some we don't end in agreement, and everybody will go. So that's the area is the attention. I don't know how to
get
people's attention.
Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate that. You can see that great things are happening here. I mean, what he mentioned is very, very critical, even to someone's personal life. Because just like we just finished smiling now or laughing about how I get my wife's attention on things that you may not even pay attention to. You know, we can talk about, because one of the things I always say is this. You can't, okay, somebody was reporting to my wife that he doesn't understand why her husband takes decision alone without involving her. My wife said, not my husband though. That I'll be sleeping like this. My husband will wake me up and say, she was one telling me, say, you must contribute in this matter. It is whatever you say that we will do. That even though at the initial stage, she saw it as a big problem. That I said, go ahead and do this thing. You say, no, you must be in the know. I remember one day like that, she wanted to go for an exams, and I said, before you go for these exams, how much do you know about current affairs? She said, what's my business with current affairs? I said, it's your business, because they will ask you in that exam you are going to write. I said, I'm not interested. I said, you must be interested in this one. I now said, you know what will happen? We'll watch different documentaries. Who is the minister of this? Who is the commissioner for this? Who is this thing almost caused fight to? But with wisdom, she got interested. Because it's not her area, but it's something that she must know because of the exam she's going for. So there are things that we call attention getters. One of it is to know the area of interest of your audience. E.g., if you are going to go and speak to a group of people who work in an oil and gas firm, what will get their attention is different from what will get the attention of someone working in a groundnut oil firm. Did you get what I said? The first set of people are people working in oil and gas firm. The second one is also oil, but it's groundnut oil. What we get them is different. I'll give you an example. If we say we are planning a program for youths in different locations, so when they say that they want to do film show for people in Agege, they will go. The place will be jam-packed. Why? Because when you are going on the streets of Agege by the bus stop, you will see people gathered and watching TV by the roadside. Am I right? Yeah. Around Penn Cinema area. So now, if you say you want to do film show for the audience in VI, you know you are wrong. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Yeah. So these are little ways of trying to understand what it means to get people's attention. So when you want to do a training or a program for people for youth in VI, you don't talk about empowerment, because many of them are already empowered. They met the power at home. Now you talk about how to manage. Yeah, you can talk about lifestyle. You can talk about the menace of drug abuse. You can talk about how to manage the wealth transferred to you. Investments, how to invest what you met. You know, you talk about, those are the ways of getting their attention. So you can talk about job sustainability. They have the job. How can they sustain what they have? That it won't deplete. So these are attention getters. So what works for me, sir, is different from what will work for you. The conversation that I will enjoy is not what you will enjoy. But I must be able to understand what exactly would you enjoy. If I want to get doctor now, I can start from, sir, do you know that I read something about energy of the flesh cannot do this. So psychology can fail you. Because there are some people that looks like something, but they are not. That is where you get back and cultivate a relationship with God. Because he will be the one to tell you this is what to talk about. Most times. Apart from the books you have read. So, you see someone who is well packaged for an interview. And he has a Louis Vuitton jacket. A Ferragamo shoe. Nice tie. And is going. He was packaged for that interview. He didn't dress himself. And you are marketing him. What you are saying, he doesn't understand. Because he's only packaged just for that occasion. You don't get what I'm saying. So the Spirit of God will tell you, that's a wrong person. Go this way. He has saved you from time wasters. That's the difference between a natural man that is selling from a supernatural man that is trying to sell. So I told us last week that please let us see how we can bring in spirituality in ourselves. Not to be quoting scripture on the field. No. But to do more of wilderness work so we can enjoy success in the city. Can you remember I said? So it is the work you do in the wilderness that helps you to enjoy fame in the city. You don't just come out and start blowing English. I remember a time that they said somebody went to, he was to play for an event on the streets as in a popular musician. I won't mention his name, someone I know. That he's playing guitar to start the song. Like they've paid him to come and play. But he didn't settle the people in the area before he started playing. So as he was playing and the thing entered his body and he jumped up, he didn't come down again. He hung in the air. I didn't say anything. No. So while he was in the air, he was begging them, let me come down. Sir? African insurance. What am I saying in essence is this. Everybody's using something. If you don't use something, somebody will use you for something. So, use God. Let's move. I hope the message is clear enough. Sales is spiritual. I'm begging you. Ojú líle. Ojú pípọ́n kò rán sìgá. I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm not a motivational speaker.
Just keep doing it. Keep pushing.
No. People give up in selling.
Of course.
With ease. And they say, sir, I've tried.
Sometimes when I look at pastor, I'm sorry to call him pastor, but still looks like a tired.
Okay.
Although he's a pastor. When I look at the video, I'll just look beside me, I'll laugh. I'll say this man, they have gone far spiritually to attain these things.
Yes, sir.
People don't understand.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
But except you come close to him, he will tell you some things.
That's the truth. Because you must get to that point where you move from motivating people to being real. And now, by the grace of God, at this little level God has placed me, I command people to bring out money. I don't beg people to buy. I command. So, and you have two options. You either bring out the money or you don't have the money. So I don't beg again. So, but I've left the realm of begging. So if I have an assignment into your life, I tell people, whatever veil is covering your face, I declare it removed. Yeah, see opportunity. Don't let it turn to Bible school. You know, there are some people that they are interested in you today. They want to patronize you. but it tells you to come and pick the check tomorrow, and it's not taking your call again.
I've experienced that. Somebody called me and was like, okay, let's talk after the, I think that was for Salah holiday. He was the one that called. I saw his missed call and I called him back. So he was so excited. I saw what you were selling and all that, because he checked my post. And then, okay, these people there, when I said, no, the people like market for, they are not 419 here, you know. He said, okay, let's talk after the break. And that was it today. He wasn't picking my colleague. It was 1 or 2 times he checked my post, but he never picked. I have sent messages, you nicely greet him, do cold calls. It's not working.
Sir, I'll tell you that I understand from that realm. That is another realm.
At the point I was thinking that maybe somebody is chasing me from my village.
No, at that point, you know that principle has failed you. So you now need spirituality. So you just, okay, remind me after when we have gone offline. So I'll tell you what to do. So so it's
about 4 or 5 of them.
So I'll tell everyone, but I'll make sure that we're done with the regular class and we are offline, because you know people are quick to attack you online when you say some things. But I am not afraid of being attacked online, because I want to trend either way. I want to trend either way. So, and you trend by either with good or bad. So bad goes faster and it's cheap publicity. Your followership will increase. Because somebody will ask, who is this person? No, not like it's part. Yes, it's trending. True, that's the truth. I don't wish to trend in a bad light, but no matter how good you seem to be, if somebody decides to paint you bad and people buy it, praise God, you have trended. And you know one thing about trending, people only go with what is happening now. When another one happens, they will leave you. And let's move, sir. Okay, like we can move. I mean, I think there are new faces, but a number of people know me a little. Adeniyi Adeyemi is my name. Popularly known as the #1 bishop of real estate in Africa. I have done a few things. I went to school. I had my background, marketing, O&D things. We come here to do every Tuesday. I can tell you in 3 months, there will be a change. Let me tell you the reason why many people don't experience a change. Because they run and chase shadows when they leave the real substance. What do I mean? I can tell you every principle you need to know and the processes to achieving this. But if you leave God outside of it, you can't succeed. But somebody will ask me a question, but there are some people who don't know God, but yet they succeed. But go and find out those who never knew God before and they succeeded. Where is their success today? They are gone, but their success died with them. It is only the one that God gives you that you leave for children's children. We know some people who made money in crooked ways in Nigeria, that we knew when they were rich, wealthy, and we knew when they died. Even some of them, before they died, their children were already selling their properties in front of them. Koro. So it's only the one that God gives you that is transferable to children's children. So, moving forward, let's go, sir. The profile is still booting. So God is helping us. So last week we talked about a number of things. How can I convince someone to buy my product and for them to get to know that my product is the best? And we said that, remember, they are not only talking to you alone. They are talking to many other people. So how can you convince me that the product you are selling in Ogudu GRA for Gtext is better than another one in Ogudu GRA? So that comes to the place of the product knowledge. And please, I'll repeat again, never limit your knowledge acquisition to only the company's products. Go and find out what the competitors are doing around that place. And I said it before that, e.g., the company's products at Ogudu GRA, what other company are selling in Ogudu GRA also? How much are they selling? And why are they selling for that rate? That way, when you meet a prospect and they are telling you, why are you selling for 35 million, e.g., and so company is selling for 32 million, you should be able to educate them. They don't know, that's why they're asking you. So, and it is the answer you give that now determines whether they will go with you or not. Somebody can say, why should I buy yours for 35? I saw someone selling for 32. It might just be only for one reason why the price is different. It might be that your own is dry land and their own is wetland. That might be the only reason. But if you don't find out about the other company, you wouldn't know what to say. So it's important for you to make sure that you are loaded not just with the company's products, but also with the competing products around. Okay, let's move forward. All right, we also said that it's important that as a salesperson, that you must know that you have your destiny in your hand. You have your destiny in your hand, meaning that you can determine how you want the year to go for you. Now, if you have 10 people that are trained in sales, you may have 2 people who come out exceptionally well. The difference between them and the other 8 is simply because they made up their mind that they are going to succeed at this thing. The same scolding or the same chastisement that goes to the 10 of them, 8 people may see it in bad light, while these 2 may see it from a good light. And that would determine what they will turn out to become. Okay? We also said that it's important for you to know that you need not blame anyone. Don't say, I said it sometimes ago, I said instead of blaming and finding excuses, please make sure you tell yourself, Adeniyi, you are responsible for the outcome of your life. You are responsible for the outcome of your life. I talk to myself in the mirror. Adeniyi, this thing is a done deal. As you go, heaven goes with you. I tell myself, I give myself words of affirmation. Adeniyi, you can't lose this deal. It's too late. And as I'm going, man, let me give you a secret. As a child of God, by privilege, take note of these times. 12 noon, 3 p.m., 6 p.m. Okay, 9 p.m., sir. These are times that you can have maybe a 3, 4, 5 minute talk with God. These are prayer hours. Just, one day I had something and it opened me up that if you come to visit me, sir, and I've not had time to attend to you, even though I'm in another room and I kept you here, I might be attending to someone else and still come and show my face at the door and say, I'll be with you shortly. I go. I leave you 3 hours. I come back again. I don't know, it's fine. Now, even though you ended up spending 6 hours before I attended to you, but you can never say I'm proud because I didn't outrightly forget you. That's the way many of us treat God. Some people treat God in a good way to make him know that I'm still thinking about you, my creator. Some of us, we just use him. It's only when we need him that we go to him. Some people don't pray every day. And you want to sell. To who? Forgetting the fact that God said, the heart of the kings is in my hand. And it's like a flowing river that I can turn anywhere I want. You can give somebody your number and they will call you from the blues. And they just say, I heard that you are into real estate. I mean, I've had angels patronize. The Lord, if it will remain your angel to patronize me to meet this target, please send them. They will buy from you and you won't be able to reach them again. But what's most important is at the money is complete. Don't you worry. So what am I saying in essence is this, that it's important for you to know that you cannot take God from your equation. I don't know if you have anybody who is a medical doctor, whether we can see how we can strike a synergy together, so I can give him a particular property. He told me that if the person can be using it as an hospital, that let it be that this dream of mine to float an hospital become a success. Because he said he has one of his children went to study medicine with the mind that he will come and establish an hospital in Nigeria and be the CMD of the hospital. But now she says she doesn't want to come to Nigeria again. So he said, I regret. He said, please, the way God is taking you, going and coming back with these children, don't leave them there. Because they'll tell you, Dad, hold your Nigeria. They left them too early, yes.
If they have gotten to 18 or 21 and leave for university,
see, what I saw in that is this. There must be something that you open their eyes to see a reason why they have to stay around here to make something happen. But if most of all the things you're doing is opening their eyes to seeing opportunities out there, they won't see any reason to stay in Nigeria. That's no. Living too early may not really be a big deal. There are many people. Who you talk to matters a lot. How you talk matters so much. Okay? Somebody can leave too early. But he's seen a successful brother and sister in Nigeria. Why? Okay, why do you want to be a houseboy or cleaning the streets?
Media controls the mind of an average black American.
I still believe you, but to a very large extent, there are lots of people who are coming to disrupt that space. To let people know that Nigeria is not as bad as people have painted it. I have a young man who came to Nigeria with his father, and he came with a caterpillar boot because his teacher told him that they will have monkeys all over Nigeria on the streets. Yes. So he came with the mind as if they are fighting war in Nigeria. So because the only thing he sees from that place is the Boko Haram in the north. They don't show him what is happening in the best places in Maiduguri. Yes. They don't show him all of those things because even the teacher don't know. Many of them have never left the shores of their country. That's the truth. I told somebody at the point of entry some times ago, he said, I'm seeing your passport and I see that you still came to the US some few months back. What are you doing in my country again? I said, what is your business? I'm a realtor and I search for opportunities for my country. If you have the means as God has given me, I'm sure you won't be here. And that's the truth. You can't deny me entry because I've not offended anyone. I'm not there illegally. You can check my record. You can follow me to where I'm going. And he said, oh, I don't mean it that way. I don't mean it that way. I said, yeah, you better be sorry. That's the truth. I'm not owing you. If my wife go to deliver, we pay her money. What else are you looking? I'm trying to enrich your country to pay even your salary. So I can tell my friends there, I said, don't die here. They're up, and that's the truth. If you have money in this country is sweet. Sir. Sweeter. Sir, thank you, sir. Leadership. But I don't want to go into those details. But what I'm trying to bring out is this. Who you see is a function of what determines what your actions will be. When the boy came to Nigeria with his father for the first time, not only himself and his siblings, and they came to my estate, and I took them round, and I showed them a few of my neighbors' houses. When he was coming to Nigeria, his father did something, because he wanted them to be coming to Nigeria often. When they were coming from the Murtala Mohammed Airport, he took them to Sheraton. That's where they lodged first. He didn't take them to Mowe. He didn't take them to Mushin. Because truly, that will be an affirmation to what his teachers has told him. He took them to Sheraton first. They lodged. They spent some days, weeks. He saw the kind of cars that are coming there. He saw the kind of people, almost posh poppy. Oh, wabe, be Escalade wa, be Ferrari wa. He said, hey, Dad, in Nigeria. I said, oh my God, Nigeria is Swiss, man. You don't get what I'm saying? So the boy had a change of mind. His mind was disrupted. He forgot what he said. So my teacher lied to me. I'm sure he's going back to go and fight the teacher. My country is not as bad as you said. Yes. So when the father took them out, took them to our estate, one cute small place, and the father said, look at him. Look at what he's wearing. Because he thought he was coming to a war zone. He said, look at his phone. This is not his phone. He left his priceless phone there. Wow. And he came with this small one, so that even if they want to steal it, he won't feel bad. Yes, is that bad? Sir, this is not why we are here, but I'll tell you this. I invited a lady to come to my hotel room many years ago in Orlando, Florida. We got talking. And by the virtue of my background and the wisdom of God upon me, I created a conversation. We got talking. She said, this is the first time I'm meeting an African saying something against what my teachers have told me. I'm not hearing it for the first time. She said, I'm shocked. She said, you know the reason why I came here? I thought you want to sleep with me, and I'm ready for you. But I'm shocked that you never even touched me. You're talking about things that will better my life. Because I can't tell her straight, I want you to move closer to God. You have sent her away. You have to start with the conversation. I witnessed to someone someday, and the man said, which Jesus are you talking about? Is it Jesus or Jesus? In the US, as I knew that Jesus is for me. You understand? So what am I saying in essence is this. You can disrupt the space. You can disrupt the mind. So when you are marketing someone, when you are trying to sell, there is something that will key or that will make you unlock how they are thinking. Don't just say that, come and buy for yourself, come and buy for your children, come and buy for your spouse. You can buy for returns on the investment. Now, there's a place called one of those small countries in Africa that suffered war some times ago. So, no, there's another one. No, they have an acronym like DRC. Yes, Democratic Republic of Congo. Yes, there was a time that they started rebuilding their nation again, and they were calling for contractors to come and rebuild, but you have to use your money. So we're contacted and we're told to come and also be a part of the rebuilding dream and all of that. They brought in a lot of contractors and said, come and do this for us. Now, even in that place that they suffered war, they don't say as much bad things as they say about Nigeria. The only thing they've made us to see is what the media carries. That is bad, 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 and it is not that bad. It is badder in some of those places out there. Quote and unquote.
Sir, if I may ask, why the hatred for Nigeria?
There is no hatred. Some of the things they say are true. The security situation is worse now.
Sir.
You know they kidnap people daily.
But I'm looking
Sir.
at a balanced narrative. If you are
Sir.
actually presenting a balanced narrative, yes, we understand that a lot of our brothers have actually betrayed us out there.
Yes, sir.
A whole lot of activities, yes. But constantly,
Sir,
only here.
I agree with you, sir. There is an hatred for this country. I'll tell you why, sir. There are some people that They don't know how to express themselves. But what you carry is a threat to them. What Nigeria carries, the potential she's gotten, is a lot of countries are envious of it. I'll tell you how it manifested. When this man in Libya that was killed, Gaddafi, when he was trying to bring Africa together for us to have one voice and one common currency, if Africa will achieve that and bring all of these countries together and we have United States of Africa, where nobody will travel to America again for anything. Nobody. Libya was as stable as anything when Gaddafi was there. Such that even some of our people were saying that no matter the war situation in Libya, they are not coming back home. Yes. Because they were paying them even though they were not working.
Giving them free accommodation, food.
So Nigeria has gotten a lot. You know what some of these some of these Chinese guys said? They said, we literally pick money on the streets of Nigeria. In Unilag, one of my lecturers, my lecturer at the master's level, happened to be a director in one of the banks. He was telling me in class one day, and he said, do you know that my team and I were traveling to Osun State, to go and do what? They are looking at how they can fund the refining of some of their raw materials. In Osun State, there are some parts of Osun that on the streets, you are working on gold, raw gold. But it won't appear to you as gold. Sandy, in the form of glass, in the form of... But they are going there to pack it. There are some Chinese guys who have been in Osun State for a number of years coming to pack these things, using it to go and rebuild their own nation. Are you aware? Now, I want us to be watching this lady, Adeola Fayeun, to be hearing some things. She's got Adeola Fayeun on YouTube. Yes, Adeola Fayeun. The way she was talking about deforestation, how our trees are being cut by Chinese since 1990 something. Sir? On YouTube, yes, on YouTube. Adeola Fayeun. Now, she said, she talked about how Chinese people were coming to cut down our trees since the 90s. And they are using it, there are some kind of trees that they used to make some kind of furnitures, some kind of buildings that they are coming to cut. And they are falling close to about 4 million of those trees out of like 5 million. And they have not touched one tree in their country since the 90s. Leadership, yeah, true, problem. But what I'm saying is this, I'll go back to what I'm saying. That, see, the reason for that hatred for this country, why they talk about bad things, is simply because they are envious of what we carry. But unfortunately, the people at the top will not harness it. What they are looking for is how to get something into their own pockets. Meanwhile, what they are getting, sir, is only minute compared to... See, sir, that's our QS in Gtext there. How much do we buy tons of steel as our last year? How much do we buy it now? You talk about cement also. The price increase and so on and so forth.
Other African countries, still the same Fulani supplying the cement here, supplying them there.
So, and the price is cheaper.
Why?
Okay, now we have Ajaokuta steel mill there, lying fallow, where we can produce this iron. So what we carry, sir, is enough for us to be envied. It's so sad that we have clueless people in government. When I say clueless, I say it with every sense of dignity. We have clueless. Many of them, they know nothing. Okay, somebody you are talking about looking for a solution to COVID, and they are still calling COVID COVID.
COVID-19.
You don't get it. You don't even know the name of what they are talking about. How will you look for solution? It's sad. It got to a time my wife started calling me Mr. Nigeria because I refused her to stay abroad. And she'll come and tell me, didn't I tell you? Okay, didn't you tell me what? Are you doing bad in Nigeria? You are enjoying, you are somebody else's prayer point. We will fix this nation together, and they will never use our blood to fix it. Nigeria, see, sir, you know the reason why people come here to this nation? Because we have the population. Anything you do, you will succeed at it.
I've always been, sorry we are diverging, I've always been a believer of a better Nigeria. But looking at the way situation and things stand, if a place, our American strength is supposed to be one of our advantage or our strength to other African countries. But some people must die, Nigeria must walk. If it continues like it's nothing, prayer will not change.
Okay, yes, sir. So let's keep praying so that one can happen. So, but on the other note, you must get to know that this emergency thing they do during time of politicking, we saw it happen live in America during their last election. How it became a do or die affair for the man who left.
Because of the white supremacy.
You understand? So there's nothing happening in Nigeria that is not happening abroad. The way they carry it is the difference. So they just magnify one thing and turn it to a big deal. There are countries we got to know growing up that they've been fighting war since we were born. They don't talk about them the way there are some countries that you can't do some things on social media and talk about the way we talk about the bad things in Nigeria anyhow. There are some countries that whatever happens stays there. Let's leave those things. We want to sell Abi. Let's face this one. So let's move to number 2. We said learn how to sell yourself. It's been mentioned already. How to sell yourself. You will still be in the same Nigeria and I will still succeed. No matter what. You will succeed. But you must learn how to sell yourself. I might be in the country. When you are talking to someone, you must understand. See, what we just did, diverted. That was why I didn't prompt Mr. Dominic to stop when he was talking the other time. Because he didn't know that he was actually touching a sensitive part of me. Then we're talking about the Lake Chad, and all of that. The truth is this. You may get to some offices that what will trigger the conversation will be your knowledge in some of these things. And at the end of the day, make sure you ask for your check. Know how to sell yourself. It's very important. And on these notes, I will beg you, I didn't say this last week, that please learn how to combine colors when it comes to dressing. Because when you are selling yourself, you want to sell within. Also, there is a place where you have to sell without. Because in some places, there are places that what you are wearing will speak for you first before you open your mouth to talk what you carry. Before they open the door.
No, what you're wearing will open the door for you.
What you're wearing will open the door. Please echo that again. What you're wearing will open the door for you. So don't dress anyhow. It's very important. Don't dress anyhow. That doesn't mean that I'm going to rule out the fact that men are in sizes, just as we have life in phases. I've borrowed shirts before. I've borrowed shoes before. It was then. Now, the better understanding I have, sir, is that if it is only one I have, let me take care of it and look well. I have the understanding that if what I can afford now as it relates to cologne or perfume is just perfume of 500 naira, I'll manage it for now. There are oil for 700 naira. Good oil, wood, that you can put on your body. Small one, small bottles. Special occasions. Wine, you are off. Why sell? You see passion. You see all manner, not the passion they spray on dead body. There is a foreign passion. What am I saying? Is when you are trying to sell yourself, don't only think in the context of what you carry inside alone. What you wear also goes a long way. And in knowing what you wear, learn how to also combine them. Don't wear red suits to a place where you want to go and prospect. Omo, that's danger. It's dangerful. Don't wear green suit to a place where you want to go and prospect, when you are not Santa Claus. Learn how to. There are different books online that will teach you how to combine colors. Then when you wear a striped shirt, never wear a striped tie. So it should be plain. And if you're wearing a plain shirt, you can use a striped tie if you want to. So learn all some of these things. We will not get all at once in a class. Let's move. Your shoe too, Abby? Aha. Your belt, your shoes, yes. And if you want to, as a lady, if you want to do sleeveless, make sure you don't have hair on your armpits. So you don't lift up your hands and they see here that can do Ghana weaving under your armpits. Pastor, you have seen that before. And you do like this. That will be me. That's an evergreen song. Let's move to number three. Number three. Define your bias. Who are you going to talk to? Who are they? It's important. You can pull up someone's name online. I introduced myself to you, Adeniyi Adeyemi, number 1 Bishop of Real Estate in Africa. You can search for me on Instagram, on YouTube, on I may not have so much, but it will give you an idea of who I am before you come and sell to me. So you already have an idea. You're going to go and pitch to someone tomorrow. What is the name of the person? Search online. If you don't get some day-to-day feats about the person, there is something that will have been said about the person at one time or the other. So it will give you an idea of who you are going to go and meet. So that if you are thinking of going to sell a plot of land of 700,000 to him, you can up the game if it's not in that category. So there's a need for you to define who your buyers are. So when you come to me and I've profiled you before you got to me or before I get to you, so I can determine if this will be a time waster or not. Whether I'm still going to come or not. Whether I'm still going to send, when I'm still going to come in person or send someone in proxy. There are some people that the moment you profile them, you see that there's a need for you to first send a John the Baptist before Jesus will appear. You know why? Because they'll still tell you to go and call your boss. When you define who they are, you can get to know who they are. Let's move. We talked about how to contribute first and sell second. That's the place of giving value before you get something in exchange. And we said position yourself as an advisor who wants to help rather than a salesperson thirsty to sell. Let's move. We now looked at number 5. Ask questions and listen. We already know that. The place of asking questions and getting to listen to what their questions are. Because a number of people have questions they want to ask you. Number 6. Eat their emotions. And this is the place where we're talking about the place of having different people buying for different emotional reasons. But anybody who tends to buy from you will buy for any of these emotional reasons. Whether for greed, just wants to buy more. He's not buying from you, whether because of fear, he has been duped before. Altruism, he just wants to make sure that somebody else gets, and he feels good that at least this person got this property through me. He just wants to buy for envy. If I see that you are envious of your friend, I pitch to you too. And I make sure you buy from me. Some people buy for envy. Some people buy for pride. I just want to own everything. Some buy for shame. Kojumatiwa. 200 square meter. So, but for whatever reason, you must understand that any of the people you are talking to buy for any of these reasons. But if you are skilled enough, you will know why this person wants to buy. And that's where professionalism comes in. Somebody is talking to you and is saying that, oh my friends, that you see around here in this office, they are all landlords, so it's only we that we are trusting God. Why is she making that conversation among these 6? Ma down low. Just be calm, don't mind them. Sit down. How much did you How much did you call it, Jerry? Don't mind them. I don't know, talk to me. Why is that person doing that? You will meet different people for different reasons. They are talking to you because of different things. When you see someone who is saying, "Nah lie, all of you people, you have come again." Nah lie. That's why we bought something in 2007. We have done it to lintel level. Everything they demolished. You people have come. What's the name of your own company? Yeah. Why is he talking that way? People are so. I've gotten to a point where I don't judge anyone again because they have a reason why they do what they do. That's the truth. Let's move. So approach your prospects on their level. Haven't known why they are doing what they're doing at their own level. Now approach them. You know how to hit them. So the place of fear, somebody who is expressing fear, who has taken something to lintel level. I mean, a woman told me this 2 weeks ago, and she said, "Sir, I saw what you put on your status. I actually want to buy. But we bought the first one from Momonile. We had done it to..." Please, I kindly put it in silent, sir. Yes, sir. We had done it to, what do you call it now? Lintel level. But Momonile came. They took it over from them. They demolished the building, sold the land to someone else. One. We went to another company, a real estate company, within an estate. We bought. We took it to lintel level again. They demolished. With the company. And now the company does not have address again. So she said, "Sir, can you see the reason why?" I said, "I would like to see you." At that point, it takes God to be able to talk to such a person sincerely. Because, okay, she wants to buy an estate that you have not even started building at all. The one she said they have already done to lintel level. They already have completed houses in the estate before Monile came to take over the entire estate, brought down all the buildings, and pursued the estate away. So how do you convince her to come and buy your? So the only thing that God put in my mouth to say was, because we have some other estates that are built, we have some other estates that are not yet built, but some people wants to start from the one that's not yet built. So the only thing I could say was, "Ma, sorry for all the losses, but the only assurance I have why you should buy our own is this. Before we went to that place, we prayed about it, and God said we should stay there. So we are sure that nobody can pursue us." And I gave her an instance. Many years ago, when I was working in property maths, we wanted to buy a particular estate, a particular land for an estate. And we prayed about it. And God said we can go. But in the next few months, there will be an issue, and government will acquire that place. But don't be afraid, because the land is yours. Very soon.
That was the message.
She said, "What?" I said, "So?" She does, "Hey?" And I said, "Yes." Actually, it now happened that 3 months after we acquired, government came, and we just saw a big billboard, and they said, "This land belongs to so-so state governments." That is disheartening, but we're not moved because God said it will happen. And few months after, they removed the board, and they did a publication that they were sorry because God said so. So, ma, God said we should stay where we are, so you can go ahead and buy. She said, "I'm comfortable." I didn't sweet talk her. I told her the way it is. She said, "I'm convinced, so I'll talk to my husband." So people do things because of where they are coming from. You will touch a lady as a man like this. Hello, Lola, so how are you? She will spark up. Have you ever asked her why she behaved that way? You just say she doesn't like you. She actually likes you. But that was how one of our uncles started, till he raped her. She became aggressive. Lady told me, she said, I've been molested about 8 times before I got married. So that's why I'm locked up to every man. So she doesn't flow. The first day we had a major conversation, it took us like 4 hours. I created time for her and she opened up. So people reduce land grabbers in the last couple of years, and that way you can actually report if you have people coming to grab land from you. So that's why it's advisable for every company to make sure that at least they try to start processing their documents the moment they have acquired. So that way you can say, okay, you started processing this, because the moment you eventually have the final documents, you know that you have control over it. Anybody who comes there is a trespasser. So you can come from the government angle, but from another angle, from the government area, government has failed many of us. So the government angle may not really work per se, because we know that even there's a particular transaction I heard of, that one of the major banks bought that land with title. Another major person, bigger than the bank, came and they demolished the entire estate. They leveled it. I know the name of the bank. I know the name of the person who took it over. So things happen. So it's tough. That's why I keep telling you, sales is spiritual. Okay. Tell me the reason why your own is. They will not demolish it. You have to do your own parts and not leave the rest to God to handle. As long as we are still. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. You will do your best. Okay, we have done this, we have done that as a company. This is where we are on documentation. We are presently doing so and so thing on site. Our men are working, no disturbance from Monile, no disturbance from government. Everything is going on well. Come and buy. Simple. And leave the rest to God to complete for you. Because you can't say it all. Because you only say to the point where we understand. There are some angles that we don't have an idea of. Okay, let's move.
Sorry,
yes, sir.
In that same line of thought, I've had a prospect where I followed for some time.
Okay.
I even have a little relationship with him.
Yes, sir.
For the fashion business that we do.
Yes, sir.
So, but he's someone that has become, well, I use the word indoctrinated by people's negative experience in real estate. And personally, too, he has had a negative experience. Where he invested and also influenced some of his friends. He's an evil guy. He has money, travels to China and stuff like that. And they invested in a particular estate, and then the developer along the line, I don't know what happened, according to him, he said the guy wasted the money, was always traveling and stuff like that. So the investment was lost. The developer is still alive, but he has nothing, no money again, and of course there's absolutely nothing they can really do. So he has some properties already, but he still has the resources to acquire new. But his mind is locked up. Even when you ask him, okay, give me a referral, because it's someone that he has some level of trust. If he tells his friend or his colleague, okay, buy this or listen to this,
yes.
He doesn't even want to do referral.
Okay.
He doesn't trust anybody again.
Okay. So as long as we're still on the earth, no matter how terrible it is, you must be able to trust a brand. That's the truth. So you must be able to trust a brand, no matter how bad it looks. That's the reason why you can now take it to the level of the people behind the company, the place of unveiling. Okay, you want to invest 10 million with Dr. Stephen Akintayo, and you are you're having high blood pressure for 10 million. He will give you your change. You want to invest 10 million with me, and you say I should go and bring my father's death certificate. For what? Your 10 million? No. You just get out. You don't get it. So you now leave the place of the brand, unveil the people behind the brand. Thank you, sir. So they can't run with your money. They don't need your money. They're only helping you at this point. You may be there some years back. The people behind the brand, they may still be struggling then. People may be finding it difficult to part with 500,000 for him. I remember a time when we were selling a particular estate while I was still in Property Man, and somebody was doing installment of 25K. And it was on a weekend that we were painting the office. Inside the office was at Akiode bus stop, across this Somole gate. And the customer who is doing the installment of 25K saw that they were packing load out of the office for the painting to be done. He just came, he puts hand at the back like this. Moka Salo. I caught you want to run away. Oh, need 25K. That 25K was like 2.5 million to him. But he could say that because of the time, that was the humble state of the company at that time. You could say that 25,000 was a big deal if the company runs away. But somebody like that, if the first thing is even the company does not even have any product of installment of 25,000 anymore. So if peradventure he subscribing to the cheapest price, the cheapest product of the company that is selling for maybe like 7 million, and his installment plan is like 500, he can't say that they want to run away if he sees that their office is inside Magodo. Their Grenadines office is in Church Gate House, and you are on the 11th floor. Even to buy from them, you consider it a privilege, because they can refund you overnight and say that we are oversubscribed. This is they attach your check to your letter. They even put interest. So when it's looking like there is a disruption with the brand, consider the unveiling of the brand. They can't run away with your money. Sir, check out this person. Give them if there is a social media savvy person, let them check out the person online. You don't get it. Thank you. So, 7, approach. So we talked about the prospect personality type. This was where we're talking about analytics person, expressive, assertive, amiable, and what have you. But that somebody you are talking to must fall into any of these 4. If it's analytic in nature, you'll be interested in facts. That's the kind of person I said can give you marker and say, go to the board and tell me how this thing will affect my finance in the next 5 years. And I prayed that prayer last week that may you never miss such. But if you keep selling, you may still stumble at one of them. And I talked about expressive. That's they are interested in people and how ideas affect others. They're interested in people and how the idea. So what do you think about this thing? What do you think about investing X amount of money? What idea do you think the kind of house we're going to build on it, and so on and so forth? If you meet an amiable person, they're interested in creative ideas and big picture vision. And I told us that those ones are the people who can tell you to give me a picture of what the estate will look like in the next 5 years. So you must be able to create an imaginary picture to them. So if it's an assertive person, they are interested in results and the bottom line. An assertive, they are interested in results and the bottom line. So what we're doing right now is we have done our first 500-meter road. We have put caps, we have flowers in front of it, blah, blah, blah. Results, I can see it. Those are the Thomases. Let's move. Psychological tricks to selling. And we said our brains are wired to respond to certain situations in certain ways. And here are a few tricks into the mindset of your buyers, which can influence their buying decision. Let's move. So, the anchoring effects. And I did said about this anchoring effects. And I said, this is the information the prospect receives first, which acts as an anchor against which they evaluate all further data. This is also referred to as your opening speech or call to action. Opening line is the first impression your prospect perceives when being introduced to your products for the first time. The anchoring effect. You may not have an opportunity to make another first impression. Be careful of how you appear the first time. Be careful of what you say the first time. Please let me chip this in. When you are in traffic or you are trying to get a bus going to your destination, and one conductor is shouting, Oshodi, 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 oh, don't pick your call if a prospect is calling you. You just pitch to someone to come and buy a product of 35 million, and you are still running after Danfo or Marua. He can't leave you with the money. A meal deal. He can't be comfortable. In as much as people who have this money, some of them believe that you have to start from the beginning. But that beginning, they don't want to joke with their money with you at that your beginning level. When God has promoted you and they see that, oh, you are handling good money, they can leave their own for you too. But at that level is tough. So, what am I saying? The anchoring effect. Be careful of what kind of impression you leave in the minds of your prospects the first time. So, I'll beg you, thank God for Marwa, but the next time you are going for that deal closure, try to consider Uber. There's no amount you invest in trying to sell that is a waste. Excuse me, it's an investment. Many years ago, there were two ladies that worked with me closely. Those two ladies. The reason why they exceptionally sold more than any other person was simply because of their packaging. They will never go out with leg. They don't take stroll. They go on cabs. I'm talking about 2009. Only cabs, and they sell only outrights. That time there was no Uber now. That time there was this small car like Cario, red cab, 2009, red cab. That's what they take. They saw it as an investment. Now, if you see someone who is serious, they can go to an organization and meet the head of the organization and say, sir, I need a loan of 30,000 for this month. I want to invest it in my marketing. Please assist me. They can take it from my sales, my commission, when I sell. That way, you have just painted a picture that you are interested in this business. So it's now up to you to now decide to run away with the money or you work to pay the money. Something must put you on your toes now if you want to succeed. See, there are many of us that until we are squeezed like an orange, the juice in us will not come out. Many people are in their comfort zone. That's why they are still where they are. Let's move. We talked about the decoy price, and that is how people see, the decoy effects, how reasonable it is, and how expensive. People must just say why your product is reasonable or why it's expensive. So in a psychological trick, presenting a third option can sometimes help people choose between two possibilities. And that's why I've said that it's important for you to always try to know what is going on around the circle of what you are selling, so you can always advise them on why they should go for yours. Okay, let's move. So the rhyme has reason effect. So rhyming statements seem truer than non-rhyming ones. With this, you need to find statements and quotes which rhymes with the purpose of your sales pitch. Okay, so that's the rhyming as a reason effect. Okay, now I have a particular slide that talks about 40 quotes from successful real estate practitioners around the world. You see from a Donald Trump, you see from Dan Locke, you see from this man in the US, Kiyosaki. Then you also see from, there's one particular man I'm trying to get. He's on Instagram. He has massive followers on real estate. Please, can you borrow me the name of the man Dr. Stephen was trying to get in the US during the lockdown? He's a realtor, yes. No, not Ryan. There's one bad guy. He drives a Ferrari among his cars. Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone. I call him bad guy. He closes deals in millions of dollars. Billions of dollars. He closes deals. He's a salesman. So, there are lots of quotes from him. He has become an authority. You know, when you have results, it's easy for people to quote you. That's why in my own little life, as God is taking me gradually and gradually, I'm very careful about what I say, because it's easier for people to quote you that you said. So when we are together in a place and we have like 10 people, when everybody is talking, they don't consider what they are saying. But when you talk, they'll say, you said. So I'm careful. So the rhyme has reason effect. You need to go and learn. What I'm trying to drive out from this is, what are the quotable quotes from people who have gone ahead and succeeded in real estate? You will need some of them when you are prospecting. Like the one we picked from the Holy Book, from the Bible, that a good man leaves an inheritance for his children. It's a quote, but it's taken from, attributable to the Word of God. You know, there are other quotes that talks about real estate. Somebody said, buy land today because they are no longer selling, they are no longer making anymore or producing anymore. Who made it? Who made that statement? Can you tell me? Can somebody tell me in this house? Who made that statement? Sir? No. It's a realtor, a foreign realtor. Buy land today because they are no longer making anymore. Oh yeah, check it. Buy land today, but they are no longer making anymore. So, can we move? While you are trying to search that. So, the loss aversion. So, we react more strongly to the possibility of losing something we currently have than the possibility of gaining something we don't. Understanding this trick can help salesperson influence the decision of their prospects. The loss aversion. Somebody has lost something and you are trying to make him gain another thing. The attitude is different. Like the case of the woman I just mentioned. She has lost to Omonile, first one, when they bought from Omonile directly. She has lost to a company, second time. Now, you want her to gain. How do you handle such people? So, we react more strongly to the possibility of losing something we currently have than the possibility of getting something that we don't. So, how A will react will be different from how B will react. I could say that, okay, I told her that, you know what, don't worry, we prayed about this, and God said we should stay there. Does it mean that if you tell somebody else that? No. It doesn't work that way in most cases. You say, give me, what's the guarantee? Or what assurance will you show me that God told you to stay there? Which scripture did he tell you? Where did God say it? How did he say it? Thank you, sir. What time did he say it? If you are talking to an analytic person. So are you, okay, they will say, are you a pastor too? I think we have faced a lot. So, let's move forward because our time is fast spent. So, cause of knowledge. This refers to someone who knows a lot about a given subject and is unable to relate to someone who is not as familiar. You are knowledgeable, but because you cannot relate it to individual lives, it becomes a cost to you. Knowledge is meant to be a blessing. But if you can't relate it to reality that will put food on your table, there is a problem. So, God told me many years ago, he said, any talent that cannot put food on your table is fake. Oh, you are talented, praise God, thank God for you. But has it improved your life? You see people who can drum very well. Many of them only drum in church. How can you use that talent to use it and monetize it? Thank you, sir. That's the word. How can you monetize it? Yes, thank God for your life. You can speak very well. But how are you using it to convert leads to potential buyers? Oh, you can check for Nigeria. You go. From where? I suspect you, sir. Monetize that talent. Turn it to money. That's the truth. So, course of knowledge. So, if you read a lot, but you can't relate it to how you can convert leads to clients, it has turned from blessing to a curse. So, all salespeople must be alert to this trick, as it can either make or break your sales pitch to your prospect. Now, please, if you don't take anything today, take this. That a number of times, just like Baba Adeboye said, people tend to remember the example more than the title of the message. So you see him when he's preaching. When he preaches to a point, he will use practical experience. That's why his preaching is not boring. And I picked that part from him. Papa can preach for 1 hour or 1.5 hours. You share testimonies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Baba Adeboye will tell you the nitty-gritty of the testimony he's sharing. And everybody can relate that testimony through the message. So, when you are prospecting, take notes of how you can introduce life testimonies. Somebody who invested, it may not be your customer, but try to get life testimonies as it has affected many people. Somebody who invested somewhere, what he got in return. You may have heard of bad experiences before, but please don't take it to the field and say somebody invested somewhere and they demolished his house. Another person invested somewhere, they demolished his property. He said this land grabber collected the land. What do you want that? So knowledge is good, but please convert it. Don't be preaching bad news. Let it be good. Only good. Good news. I remember many years ago I told someone, I said, sir, it is true that you always tell us each time we are talking that you have read books. You will say, Pastor Nee, I've read books in my life. You don't understand, sir. I have read books in my life. So when he has been intimidating me with that statement for a long time, one day I said, shall I tell you the truth? The book you have read is not showing your life. Because every of the time he has been telling me he has read books, I don't respond. I'll just look at him and I'll shake my head. I said one day, God will ask me that why didn't you tell him the truth one day? I said, you know what? The challenge I have is that these books you have read, has not shown in your life in any way. He said that's a better way. Sincerely, no offense, but it is knowledge that was meant to be a blessing, but it was not converted to a blessing. So it became a curse. So how do you translate the things you are coming to learn here every Tuesday into a reality? You must put it into use from time to time for it to translate into reality. You must look for somebody who is better than you in the class and think of how you can synergize together and go and work as a team. You must look for people who work in organized organizations that you can go and do a pitch together. Somebody may be working in an organized organization who is a part of this training, but who doesn't know how to put up the people together. And you may have the skill. You can work together. Let me come as a strange face, as a neutral person. Let me come and talk to the people. And we share the proceeds together. It's something. So this is how you can translate knowledge into a blessing. There was a day that one of my revered mentor, the wife of one of my bishops, was telling me that, you don't talk to some of these your youths. I said, sir, man, why? He said, there's one particular one. He always pursue me with one big proposal. The proposal is reading about 1 billion. That, mommy, please help me lay hand on this proposal. That he has been bringing the proposal since. That now, mommy is now seeing him, and mommy is now running away. Because mommy said, see, go and take a job of 30,000 to start there. This your idea is good, but I've not seen it in your life. The proposal is good. When you start small, then God can be raising you. And you eventually, while you are doing that small thing, that's when God may now locate you with someone who can invest in that your idea. So it's important that our knowledge must be turned into a blessing. Let's move. The confirmation bias. We are more likely to accept information that aligns with our beliefs than contradictory evidence, no matter how compelling they are. So this can also be seen as perception. So be sensitive to the perceptions of your prospects, as that can make your sales successful or not. Ibejuleki is congested because of Dangote refinery. Perception. Don't argue. You are actually right, sir. But have you ever thought of when the road is expanded, the possibilities of having 4 lanes? Are you sure? Don't say, no, it's not true, sir. It's not congested. No, sir. I can bet it. It's not congested. The last time I went there are 2 cars on the road. This. You say, I hear you. So when you finish, you can lock the door behind you. Never argue with a prospect. No matter how wrong it may appear, it's perception. Somebody told me some time ago, he said, you said I should come and buy Mowe Father. Is it not the Mowe Father that they are beheading people in the daytime? It was actually right. There was a time that they used to behead people in Mowe Father. They used to behead people. Okay. They cut people's head for ritual purposes. So it was right. Perception. Sir, you are right. But not again. Okay, why not again? Because there is a lot of security around the place. And also, a lot of development has caught up with what you are saying. That is when it was a thick forest. Say, are you sure? I wouldn't mind to take you on a visit if you are available. Let's just go and drive around and see. Not only to sell. That's not the only time you take people around. Can we go for a tour? We still did a tour last week in my office. Just take people around. Somebody will now be asking you, don't you have something around this place? Talk to your management if they have something around this place. And that Gtext has been able to do also. I remember the day the MD of Gtext lodged me in Ikoyi to show him some properties around. And I was telling him, look at this amount, look at this amount, let's see this. And, that is beyond just selling. So if you see him handling inspection for you, he has information. Not just what he's selling, but all other things around what he's selling. So, I think I should take 1 or 2 questions so we can round up. Because even me, I'm tired. Thank you, sir. Sir? That is buy land today because they no longer make it anymore. Attributable to Mark Twain. Mark, Twain. So try to get quotes.
So you did something about 40 quotes. I thought probably you will send it.
No, I won't send it. I will send it. Go and research it, sir. Although it's a combination, those 40 quotes are actually picked from different, and before we arrived at 40. I have 40 in a slide. I have another 50 in another slide. Make it 90. So from time to time, okay, we'll take it one of the classes. I mean, quotes attributable to great men. Because a number of times there's some discussion that will warrant you to start with a quote. And that shows you as an authority in that field.
Then are there books that you can recommend to us for the sorts or
Add, okay.
that we can actually look at?
Okay, sir.
Then there's a question I want to ask. So sometimes I posted on LinkedIn. Understand? So I was getting some reactions. So all of a sudden somebody.
I may not respond. You know the reason why? Because more people will go with what he said. And I'll tell you the reason why. Because one need cliche. They don't want to do anything. We have more people who are unserious than people who are serious. Now, for somebody whose father left an asset for him around Dangote refinery, and that's all his father left to him. Okay, because Dangote have gone to the place, will he sell his land there and run away? 1. 2. The Omoniless who are fighting around the place because government is trying to take their land. Do you think they don't know what they are thinking before fighting for what belongs to them? The truth is this. Everywhere you see has its own peculiar challenges. It is just more than the other. Are people not living in Sunlight Town, Festac, Amukoko? Don't we have tank farms on those houses? Are people not living there? Don't we have a papa? Are people not living with the traffic situation every day and night? Are people not living there? The truth is this. Everywhere has its own peculiar challenges. You see Oregon. Oregon is an industrial area. There are massive plants that are emitting dangerous gases in this Oregon. Sir? Ilupeju also. Well, okay, you can't. Okay, so that means you go and fill an island and go and create one for yourself and buy a yacht. If you follow what people say, you never do anything. The Bible says that a lazy man, you always see what? That's the truth. So that was why I said, for me, I wouldn't have responded in the first place. Because I know that I can't win them. Some of them, first thing is, I will just go and first go and invest. Some of them, I'll be glad to receive them as my tenants in the years to come. Now, I'll round up with this. There is a story of a man in the Bible called Jeremiah, who was a builder. I mean, from the time he was the carrier of the cup for the king. Nehemiah. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So he was a carrier of the king's cup, vessel, that the king uses to drink. The man was building. There were two people. Sanballat is the Sanballat and Tobiah that is my case study. Sanballat and Tobiah, they were the ringleaders who were saying, you were you on this. They said all manner. Eventually, the Bible painted a picture for us to know. They came to beg him for boys' quarter after the whole thing was completed. Now, I'll relate that story to what happened when Property Mart was at the verge of making our first breakthrough. By the grace of God, at that time I was working as the PA to the MD. And we're moving from Akiode in Akiode bus stop. Grammar school, sir. Yes, sir. Number 52, Akiode bus stop. There's a 2-story building there at that bus stop. They sell higher thermocool deep freezers under it. At that time, when we were to move away from the place, we were moving to Magodo. Inside Bashir Shito, Magodo opposite Alausa Secretariat. And we're to pay for this building like this. And my boss ran it through one of our consultants, very knowledgeable man. The man said, even if you give me a big queue for free inside this place, I tell you this place cannot sell anything. You have come to cage your destiny inside this estate. Can't you see you are barely the only business? And at that time, truly, we were like the only business that was coming to Magodo apart from schools, because they don't really allow commercial activities in the estate. So he said many direct, I don't know which English to use. They were too much. I was there. My boss will come back and ask me, apart from being into real estate, maybe small, we too, we have privilege of talking to God. So my pastor, my boss brought his pastor, external pastor, and he considers me an internal pastor for him too. He said, Pastor, what's God saying about this place? I said, Sir, God said we should come here. We will make it here. So at different times, he will bring another set of people, because what we wanted to pay as the rent meant so much to us. It was a big money. So it just, yes, sir, as rent to get the place for it starts. To the glory of God, eventually, one of his lawyers also came, said, it's tough. How will they see our signboard if we put it in front of the place, from the gates? In fact, they don't even allow cars that don't have stickers to enter. That has even spoiled everything. Oh. My boss came again. Pastor, what's God saying? Sir, he said we should stay here. So to now make the matter worse, he now signed a check. He now gave me the check. He said, use your hand to write the figure. Let it be that you are the one that brought us here. I said, Lord, is it true that we should stay? So there is a point that you get to, sir. You ask God again when people are not there. Because if this thing backfire, they will need to deduct my salary for like 10 years. I will need to serve like Omoli Alamala to Hasibe. Fast forward, to the glory of God, we took the step and we paid. My boss traveled to Dubai 3 months after. And to the glory of God, he sent me a message from Dubai. He said, the money we have not made in this number of years that we've been in this business, we made it in 3 months in that Magodo. To the glory of God. In 3 months. In that Magodo. Sir? Yes, sir. Now, conclusively, what about the place of engaging in investments? That is using its capital. I think the company has, Mr. Daniel, the company has a Gtext arm where people can invest money. Gtext. Yes. So if he's not willing to buy property, he can invest 100 million, for instance. Put in a company, and the company will give him more than what the bank will give him in fixed deposit. You understand? So, let me tell you something. Some people will paint some pictures to you like, I don't even need anything in my life again. Now lie. See, man, there is what they call faded glory. Some people have it. When some people finish packaging you, if you are not careful, if you are a woman and is a man, he will have his way. After that time, oh boy, oh chance me. Do you get what I'm saying, sir? We need to open our eyes. Sincerely, there are some. Okay, there is a lady. My secretary was saying that, sir, there's a big fish that is coming. Oh, big fish that is coming. I said, which one? I said, I want to buy one of our estates, 11 million. Big fish, okay. But I said, please, but apply wisdom. He said, when is the man paying? The man said he has gone. He said the man has gone to the bank. I should be, once I receive a lot, I should tell her Then I said, but the way she was shaking, I said, this thing is questionable. Ori Ọlọ́run ò jẹ́ kéèyàn gbọ́n báyìí. She was shaking, she was that. I said, calm down. I said, sir, have you received anything? No, not yet. So she couldn't tell me what happened. Eventually, it was our superior who told me that, and that man said she should come and meet him at the hotel to give the check. I said, Oniran, check in the hotel. To ba bounce nko. Oh, the phone. He can give now, but we say don't present it tomorrow. It will bounce now. But the man will have it his way today. And tomorrow morning you say, don't present the check. If you go and present, it will bounce. Because he does not even have that amount in his account. But the thing he did yesterday, can it be reversed? So, let's be sensitive. Let's be sensitive. Once I've pitched to you, and that's the way I'm saying it, that pertains to women. It happens to men. Me too. I want to be a chance, Mirio, as a man. Yes, a woman looked at me. You know, I've been doing this head like this. I cut low cut, no hair in my head. Since. Just, woman just said, my man. Each time I see this, your head, I scatter. I thought she was joking. That's your language.
Just like an exclamation.
Okay, mofo.
No, ufo is like
Ofo? Obato, okay, like Obato. In Yoruba, mofo. So, no man for that she breaks each time she sees the head. I thought it was a play. But you know the thing is, thank God for wisdom. Because if I'd made effort to run away, it would be like the story of Joseph and Potiphar's wife. So I needed to use wisdom. There are some people, they just make mouths because you have not been there. Sincerely. My leg was shaking on steering when I wanted to. I couldn't reverse, sir, when I was going. Because what came to my mind is, one, if I struggle with her, if she shouts that I wanted to rape her, because it's her house. I already gave her the forms. She even said that I should give her 6 forms that she was going to tell her friends. And they were going to buy all outrightly. And it was looking like it. She told me to come back in the night, come and pick the forms. And I went there. Now locked the door. So, but what came to mind was one thing. That if I do this thing, yes, and I go away with it, what if this woman happened to be someone who does not share his man friend with any other person, and he just raises somebody to wipe away your family just because she can have you? Say, Lord, you know, there's a point in your life that you say, Lord, sincerely. So I thank God that I could tell the story, because she called me afterwards and said, then I was a deacon, and she's a deaconess at that time. She said, Deacon, I observed that you've been avoiding me for some time. I said, Deaconess. Sir? It can only be God. Because that time, later I got to know that we have drinking and we have drinkiness. So it can only be, I can only say it's God. But practically speaking, I use wisdom not to refuse her outrightly, but that it can be some other time. So, in fact, but the truth is this, I must tell you the truth. God entered inside of her on my behalf. Sincerely. God entered inside of her. Because she has an option of saying, you will sleep here overnight. Okay, if somebody have locked door, and God will help you, and if she's violent, and she swallows the key. You don't know that there are some women who swallow key.
Throw it somewhere inside, you can't find it.
So, sir, Ogunlayo. Wọ́n gbé kọ́kọ́rọ́ bíi bọ́lẹ̀ máa gbà jáde. Mọ́mí ẹjọ́. Lórí marketing, so this marketing thing, you now get to the office, you eventually, you now make a sale. Somebody is angry that you gave him 5,000 out of your commission. Now say, show my boy, show my prostitution, Timothy. Let me tell you, there is nothing Satan will give you that he won't ask back again. If something had happened, she could have blackmailed me. Because I didn't know that God was taking me to where he has taken me to now. Somebody will just come from nowhere and say, you better give me, why you have 5 million to my account? If not, I will say 1, 2, 3. Did you even know whether she had camera? That is what has caged many of our leaders today, and even pastors who were once preaching salvation messages, but they have changed the message because a lady told them, "To bad change, you want sort of salvation, you want to reserve place for any fire," and they changed the message, and you just be wondering, this man has changed. The fire is not there again. He has eaten the forbidden fruit. So please, sell using God. And most times, you will be at the verge of making that great sales when this temptation will come. If you do it, you may lose that big sales. Even the person who failed you may not eventually buy. In most cases, they don't buy. They just use you and dump you. Yes, sir. They have drank the glory. By the grace of God, none of us will fall. Amen. None of us will fail God. But please know that there is always a test before the testimony. And if you don't pass the test, you can't go to the next class. You will need to rewrite the test. So if you are at the verge of making that breakthrough sales and you don't settle down to write the test well, I'm sorry. There will be no story. There will be no testimony. When you have asked God and he has forgiven you, he will tell them to set up another test for you. Until you have passed it, you are not going to the next class. As for you, you go to the next class in Jesus' name. See you next week by his grace. Thank you, Mr. Dominic. God bless you. You're welcome, sir. Welcome, man. God bless you, man. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. God bless you, sir.